for the topical discussion, and our main emphasis is going to it's going to rotate around the Entebbe Express Highway. It is apparently, according to reports and statistics, it is the world's most expensive highway.
It must be, because if you've been there, even the way they run the operations, the mode of business, it's really so US. Let me say that.
Andrew Barriga with the US. First, take us through your introduction as we get into a topical discussion.
Okay, yes, welcome to the topic of discussion, and today we are going to be talking about the Entebbe Express Highway, a road which is one of the most expensive government projects which have been invested in. And
one of the most.
It is.
No, the most.
Because more projects are going to surprise us. That's why I say one of the most.
For now.
For now, maybe. To say that.
You see, for now, when we say it is the most expensive, I think for now it is.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to be discussing on, mainly we're going to look at the angle of the business, on the areas that are surrounding the road. The business, what impact has the highway created to the surroundings, and what we expect, not only the surroundings, but also our expectations to the economy at large.
Okay, yeah. And away from that now, let's talk about, it has actually, ever since it was opened, or let's say inaugurated for use, the government did mention of the fact that it has road toll plazas. If at all you've been to, there is one in Kajansi, there is one after you've left Nansan as you're going to Entebbe as well, and then there is also another one as you're moving out to Chitala. Yes. So those are the road toll plazas that are going to be used for collection of the taxes. Now, speaking of collection of taxes, come January next year, there is going to be tax collection of the users. So every day, so once your vehicle steps onto the highway,
you pay some money.
You pay the money.
Yeah, I really think it's a good idea. I really support that idea because this is for the benefit of the nation. Though the case now issue comes in, there is what we call accountability of funds. You know, is that money going to be really allocated where to the sector that's supposed to go to? It's wonderful because the taxpayer in Uganda, what really hurts them is one thing, is that they always question themselves. They're like, where are our taxes? The taxes we pay, where are they going?
But people should actually know that this was a loan from the Chinese government for the construction of the road. And the reason as to why we have the road toll plazas is because we have to clear off, we have to beat off that loan. And some of those taxes that are going to be collected by the users of the highway will actually head onto the account that is supposed to be clearing off the debts. Maybe within a period of time, you never know, it shall be completed.
But Uganda, I know for our country for sure, we really have so many loans to clear. And some of the loans, our great-grandchildren actually are the ones that are going to clear them. So sometimes I don't want to give loan clearance as an excuse as to why the money is really allocated, because so many cases, even the World Bank has ended up cancelling our dates. You see that? So if they say that the taxes that are going to be collected from the road users are going to be used to clear back the loan, well and good, if it's so.
And let me break this down for you. Now, with effect from January 2022, this is how the money is going to be allocated. If you're using a motorcycle which operates with a 4,000 cc and not Bajaj, is it TVS, Bajaj, and all those ones that you actually use, that you have with that normally carry you, but these more modified, how are they called? If you have to look at these modified motorcycles, the ones that we normally refer to Digi Kunama in the local
those bikes, racing,
those bikes, those bikes. Modernized bikes. So that actually being accepted to use the Entebbe Highway, Express Highway, you're supposed to be paying 5,000 Ugandan shillings. No, that is 3,000 for those that are having those bikes. Then people who are actually driving personal vehicles, let's say a 4-seater vehicle, you will be paying 5,000 a day. when you're going to use it. So a day then means you'll be given a receipt, and that would show that you've cleared, and you can pass via any other road toll plaza because you've already paid. And that is 5,000 for personal vehicles. Then if you look at mini buses as well as bigger buses that are going to be using the same route, and as well as look at if you're to look at buses and double cabins, pickups. Yeah, let's start with the pickups, double cabins, and let me say simple trucks. Full stop. Those people will be paying 10,000 Ugandan shillings to use the road. Then buses, let's say minivans, buses, and other related vehicles in that sort that actually put in a number of people will actually be paying 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Then lastly, we shall have the truck drivers. These ones that are carrying cargo, logs, different products, heavy goods. Those ones will be paying 18,000 Ugandan shillings. So you can see they have actually tried to rate the price fares. They've actually got the fares in regards to how much or which type of load you actually have.
Yeah, you've been mentioning the figures, but trust me, that's too much, honestly. Compared now, it can be understandable for like maybe if we had vehicles, public vehicles like taxis.
Taxis.
Yeah, that would be understandable because at the end of the day, they are making business. But now I'm looking at a private person. 5,000 is a lot of money. I support the idea of the taxes, but man, it matters the range, the tax. You know, at least if they could say 1,000, that's a fair.
But the same Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, did say that they would actually give a discount for those drivers who are going to, just like when the supermarket says we're giving discount to our trusted customers. So the people who are going to be efficiently using the road, let me say for the full week, every day you're using the express highway and the records are having you'll be given discount. Maybe they will actually give you a 30% or a 50%, you never know.
Okay. Then if that's the case, then that's okay. You read my mind.
Okay. Well, from now, let's first check out the details of this story. We're going to return with more discussions on it.
When you're coming back, you're required to pay the following toll fees per single passage. Per single passage, not per day. Per single passage. If you pass through this toll and you are going to Entebbe, you go, you pay. When you're coming back and you still want to use the expressway, you pay when you're coming back from Mpala. So it's one passage, not the whole day. If you pay for one passage. But there are other ways also, as I'll explain down later, but these are the rates. So the class 1, the motorcycles, which are these big ones, the 400cc, not the border. I've not seen a border of 400cc. Not the border. The 400cc will pay 3,000. Light vehicles will pay 5,000. Medium goods vehicles, that is 2 to 3 axles, will pay 10,000. Large goods vehicle and buses, that's 4 to 5 axles, will pay 15,000. Large goods vehicles, 6 or more axles, will pay 18,000. And how did we arrive at these rates? I think our engineer, the lady, explained very well how we came to arrive at these rates. And these are the rates which were gazetted on the 22nd October in the Uganda Gazette. The above toll fees shall be varied for a period of 1 year from the commencement date for tolling, and government through my ministry shall review and adjust the rates if necessary. It doesn't mean that we shall definitely. We may not. If we find they are convenient, the public is comfortable, things are working fine, then we will not fix what is not broken.
Well, now, what the minister has actually said, it is not per day. It is actually per person. Oh, should I say per trip? So if you've used the Entebbe Express Highway in the morning and you're heading, if you're actually heading to Entebbe, so if you're heading to Entebbe, every car has to pay. And if you're heading to Entebbe in the morning and you paid, then coming back in the evening and passing the road plaza, you will have to pay because you've used the road again. So that is the order of the day. So it is up to you to budget yourself, and you say, you know, in the morning I'm going to use the Entebbe Express Highway. I'll pay once, then later on I'll go and settle with the traffic jam and continuously go with that. So it's like people are now going to be paying for one, you pay for your fuel, then you pay for using the roads. It's like someone who's using a taxi now is far better again in terms of the expenses on a day, because the taxi will charge you like 5,000 if you're from Kampala to Entebbe, 5,000 to 6,000. Then if you're a person who's actually using your personal vehicle, you'll have to pay the 5,000 in the morning, pay the 5,000 in the evening, some fuel money. So it is like more expenses attached. But it's saving them some time, because people who are using the Entebbe Express Highway actually beat off the traffic along the Entebbe Road, because more so for people who are actually going to catch a flight. Once you have a flight to catch or a plane to catch and use the Express Highway, it is easier for you, very effective. You can reach so early. But let's also talk about this. My worry is, are we going to continuously get the number of drivers using that route again? Because this time around, for 4 years, they've actually been using it without paying.
Without paying money. I believe so, where necessary. Though, it's going to be for cases whereby it's necessary. Where emergency cases. Because I'm really thinking, because what beats my mind is that those routes are always put there to control traffic congestion. And such a route, because so many people work in Kampala and they reside in places, Entebbe, Kajansi, and all those other places on Entebbe Road. And this road actually was the purpose of it, to ensure that those places actually, they're accessible in time. But for a case whereby, now remember, okay, for the taxis, for people that are having public vehicles, it's not cost, you don't feel it. But then, for a private person, you know, you've paid your fuel. In my opinion, I think the users are going to be a bit low. It may not turn up like it's expected. And you know, you can't force people to use that route, you know, because of those charges. It's okay, like I said, but the range, it's a bit not friendly according to the current place we are in the nation.
Yes,
it's
coming into a time when Ugandans are already used to the free situation. You want to beat some jam, you switch lanes to the express highway.
Exactly.
But now this time around things are changing. But however, my concern is still on the other routes of the expressway. Look at the route between Kajansi and Munyonyo. We've all known that borders are not supposed to access those routes. But one would argue that it being a residential area or a residential zone, so if you look at the range there, I think that is why the borders are being accepted in that route. The same applies to the same route around, was you're heading to Nasana, some way or the other. There you could definitely see. But now, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the issue is concerned, I'm going to say it, as far as I'm concerned. As far as the issue is concerned here, it is. It seems it's going to be I had a discussion with a friend, and it was like, people will pay the money, but only for those who are actually having the financial
stability.
That will say, okay. And for someone who doesn't have an emergency, who has been using the expressway, look at the Subaru drivers who have always been using the expressway to try to add on to their skills of driving.
Exactly.
I think it is high time they now resorted to getting back to the traffic, to the normal setting, or go to the villages to exercise their skills.
Exactly.
But either way, I think it is, like, in my opinion, I think it is going to help us clear off the debts. If at all the collection is going to be effective. Like they said, it's January, come 2022. And with that, any user who's going to be using the express highway should have it in mind that you're going to pay for it. Because we were still asking ourselves, we have these toll plazas there, when are they going to be effective? The government has been looking through measures. Now it seems it is high time they started collecting them.
Okay.
So I think it is the same way happening with other countries. If you could see other countries that are having highways that are having toll plazas, the same way of collecting taxes. I've seen I've actually seen in some movies where someone has to clear off with a credit card before the road actually opens. So is it what is going to happen here? Because I'm seeing some in the road plaza. I'm seeing some
kind of like a movie setting.
A movie setting, like one would say, movie setting. You could see a cabin there where a car has to come, stops, then it is actually open. Like you see parking lots in the hotels.
In the hotels.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, the challenge is that in the short run, that can be a little bit challenging, simply because by the nature, we are not sometimes so used to, if something is being imposed into a community that is not so much, it's not so well conversant with it, in the short run, it's going to be a little bit challenging, trust me. It's going to be very challenging, but with time we shall adopt, just like we adapted to the digital migration. There is always this thing where people say, no, who can do that? But as you know, as time goes on, you do realize the necessity. But the most important thing is, when they're soliciting those funds, let them really do what they're supposed to do. I have no problem with that.
That is the biggest argument every Ugandan is having at the moment.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to pay these taxes because we're using it.
Yes.
But after paying them, is the money going to be utilized? So if you're actually, you see, actually I also have this in mind. Okay, we're looking at it as a way of actually going to beat up the taxes, not only beating up the taxes, rather the loans, but it's also going to be helpful in the maintenance. Because the only challenge we have in Africa, not only in Uganda, is maintenance.
Very
true. Transportation.
Very, very, very
true. That is the reason as why we're trying so hard to see that our railway gets back to full function.
Yes.
In some areas, people used to use the rails they actually used to pull them off, pull them out of the ground to put them in their homes.
Are you sure?
So you could see maintenance has always been a bigger aspect in terms of transportation. Not only transportation, look at other infrastructure.
Actually, it's general.
It is general. So if this money can also be used for maintenance, it is going to be helpful to
be
the
very
generation
helpful,
and helpful to, like you said, these are some of the taxes that are going to be collected, also helping the future generation. If you can utilize it, it is going to be helpful to us.
Yeah, and also, recently when the Uganda Airlines launched a new flight to Dubai, and it shows you that not only did they launch a flight to Dubai, but they also have opportunities for trade. Like for those local producers that are exporting things to Dubai. So you see, if the route is effective, more so for perishable products, which perish so much, why it needs to be really, it's a very sensitive matter. That route is very sensitive in terms of maintenance and in terms of the revenue being collected. And you see, a great impact it's going to create for the floriculture industry, because when these people they are exporting these products, which are perishable, and the fact that the route is free from jam, unlike those days for those when you can't afford air to transport them faster, but the only way you have is road. So it shows you how sensitive that matter is, that if it's not handled very well, it's not only going to benefit, it's not only going to hurt we the individuals, but also there is a way it's going to pierce into the heart of the economy. So it's a very sensitive matter.
So yes, it is a sensitive one, but I hope the country can collectively get into the exercise. We should come together and embrace it, because it is the expressway, and for the people who have actually been using it, you can agree that it has effectively helped in the smooth running of your activities.
Yeah.
Let's say transport, beating of traffic, time management, everything about the expressway.
Yes.
And in terms of efficiency, I think it has played a very big role.
It has.
Because it has two different lanes, and it can actually, on a single, if you look at a single lane, having two sides, which is better, double lanes or double sides for each side. So which means it is going to be helpful.
Very.
But this time around, the tax collection will be helpful in maintenance, as well as beating off the loans from the Chinese government. Let's first head into a break. We shall return with the same conversation, and later on we have business entertainment news will be on your way. Keep it SMB. Smart 24, driving business.